Diogo Campilho from Quinta Aveleda. Are we finding you at the winery in Portugal this evening for you?
Yes, it's late afternoon. It's around 6 p.m. here in Portugal. This is our base, I would say, where the headquarters of Aveleda are in Penafiel. We are, I would say, half an hour in the Portuguese way of driving from Oporto. But here is where we have our headquarters, is where we have our winery, and it's here where we are based, I would say.
It's a beautiful estate. In anyone who is in Northern Portugal would do well to visit it. Beautiful gardens, uh, beautiful vineyards and countryside, and some history. There's a lot of history to your the winery that where you make the wine. But this wine that we've gathered on the internet to talk about, the Alvarinho, I think it's a very modern wine. Am I right to say, like, when we think, and maybe in Canada, when we think of Vino Verde, we think of a maybe a different style, and whereas this is it's very dry. I think there's only 3 grams of residual sugar. It's a 13% alcohol wine, so it has some strength and some I don't know, uh, structure to it, and some depth and weight, as well as being very refreshing and crisp. The, Tell me about the philosophy that goes into making uh, this Alvarinho, this Vino Verde.
Okay, so here in the Vinho Verde region, we have a different variety, a big variety on the soil, on the grape varieties. We work hard here in the Aveleda with the Alvarinho, but Alvarinho is one of the grape varieties that we work hard here. For example, we work hard and we deeply are very deeply interested in how can we improve and how can we change the way of it. Like Loureiro, for example, it's another fantastic grape variety. But Alvarinho is very well known, not only here in the Vinho Verde region, but a little bit along Portugal. This Alvarinho is made in the way that you were saying, in a dry way. The Alvarinho, Vinho Verde is a style of wine. We can find many styles of white wine, all of them specific styles with a lot of quality. But here with this Alvarinho, we try to make a dry wine, a very aromatic wine, a very serious wine, I would say, a gastronomic wine. It's always very important in our culture, in the way that we think about the wines. When we produce wines here in Aveleda, we, even if we don't want to, we always have 1 or 2% that we are thinking about food match, how this wine will go with this food, because we still believe that wine is made for food, although there are different styles, and we also have them here in Aveleda. But in this specific Alvarinho, we are not looking for a very complex wine, a very heavy wine with oak. That's not the style that we want with this wine. This wine is completely inox stainless steel fermented. We are talking about temperature fermentation around 16 Celsius degrees. So the idea is to have a very fresh, fruity, very fruit forward, but at the same time with a nice texture. We do a lot of batonnage, and when we talk about batonnage, in my opinion, there's a little bit of confusion. People understand that batonnage always have oak, and this is not the point. You can do batonnage in stainless steel without having oak. And the idea with this Alvarinho is exactly this point: is having a very protective wine making style of wine. We pay attention to all the small details, even in the last details on the bottling line. We have always a little bit of attention of how much oxygen we have on the wine. We always try to have the minimum as possible, and we try to make it almost a wine from that year. That's what we try to make and to bring to the consumer.
When so your importer sent me an email saying, "Oh, hey, we would send you a sample of this wine, and think about this Aveleda Alvarinho as a wine for Christmas and the holidays." And I thought, well, this is strange. I think of Vino Verde, I think of sunshine and summer, Portuguese weather, and but so how do I enjoy this wine at this time of year when it's cold, but also when I'm gathering with my family and friends? And what do you suggest?
Here in Portugal, depending of where you are based, if you are in the north, normally on the Christmas evening, people have here octopus or cod.
Mm,
If you go a little bit south, you find turkey. For me, this wine is a wine that goes, for me, my aspect of winemaking and as a consumer, because I am also a consumer, I would have for sure some turkey, for example, something cooked on the oven, because this is a wine that is dry, but at the same time has a citrus on it, and it could go very well with a light meat, with a white meat, I would say. So turkey for me could be very interesting, more than fish in this term of comparing. I don't know.
okay.
I don't know in Canada what normally you have on Christmas Eve.
Usually
Turkey.
turkey. Usually turkey. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it goes well in my opinion.
All
But
right.
I think
All right.
because sometimes the turkey is a little bit dry and a little bit dry, and the wine with this crisp and with this acidity, I think it goes well in my opinion.
Bring some water to the mouth. Yeah. Perfect. It's a lovely wine. It's a great deal too. Excellent value. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this wine that you've made, Diogo.
Thank you, Malcolm, very much.
We never made any money when we were having fun.